Hello everybody, Brandon Parker back again with another video. This time this video is going to be showing people how to get Sony Vegas on your Mac or any Windows program on your Mac. So this is how I do it, and it's not exactly on my Mac, it's actually through a program that runs Windows. So it's like a program called VMware Vision. That's the program that I use, but there's another one called Parallels Desktop, and you can run Windows programs on it. It's pretty neat. Pretty nice to use. The reason why I use VMware Fusion, and I've tried Parallels Desktop, but that one, it just doesn't, I don't know, doesn't spark me the way VMware Fusion does. I think VMware Fusion runs a lot better for what I like to do on Windows and everything. And so here is VMware Fusion, and I'll put a link to Parallels Desktop in the description box below, so you can check that out, and you can try them both out, and whatever you like, you can use. You don't have to use VMware Fusion. You can use Parallels Desktop. They do pretty much the same thing. Just the layout when you're in the settings area, like right here, the layout like of VMware Fusion and the layouts of Parallels Desktop is different. But once you're inside Windows, Windows is Windows, so it's just gonna look like a Windows when you're running. What's pretty neat about this, you can run them side by side. So say if you want to drag a folder or something inside your Mac, you can drag it on in there. And then there's one thing that I like about Parallels Desktop, but I don't like in VMware Fusion, is that on Parallels Desktop, you don't have to connect this to your virtual machine. So like if you have like a USB drive or hard drive or something, external hard drive where you have all your files, like 1 terabyte, whatever, how much you have. And if you want to use all your files from that and you want to use them with Windows, it's you have to connect them on VMware Fusion, but you don't have to connect them on Parallels Desktop, because on Parallels Desktop it'll just show like the folders, and then you can get inside your Mac files that way. Through VMware Fusion, you have to like minimize it, and then like if you want to connect folders or whatever and drag them in here, you have to minimize it, and then you have to connect your external hard drive to here. So I'm going to show you some of the settings when you're going to first install. So let's go to, let's see, right there, it's going to start it. Okay, when I click this, it'll start it, and then give it a second because my external hard drive is connecting to this. So every time I start this, my external hard drive will be connecting to it. The one thing that the reason why I said I didn't like that too is because say if I'm trying to edit something in Cinema 4D, but I'm going to keep this open at the same time, I ain't going to be able to use all my files from my external hard drive because it's connected through here. So I would have to disconnect it from this and then use it. So that's kind of difficult. Parallels Desktop makes it easier on that part. So that's why I say, just because I didn't really like Parallels Desktop a little bit, doesn't mean it's that you shouldn't get it. I'm just saying whatever you like. And I think both programs are like about 50 bucks. I know VMware Fusion is $50, like $49.99. So say 50. And then I think you get taxed $1 or something. So it's like 51 or something like that. But it's pretty good. 50 bucks, pretty good. But if you don't already own an install, like a Windows 7 install or whatever version of Windows you're going to be installing to, the only Windows I recommend that you do not ever install, even if you had a Windows-based computer, don't even touch Windows Vista. That sucks big time. Doesn't matter how good it even sucks on a Mac. It's the operating system. It's not good to have. Stay away from Vista. But if you want to do XP, Windows 7, best. I say do the latest, which is Windows 7, because in a few months or so, it's going to be Windows 8. So you might as well just mess around with Windows 7, or you could just wait a little bit and then go to Windows 8 or whatever. It's your choice, but if you want now and you want to get VMware Fusion, there's a trial version of both Parallels Desktop and VMware Fusion. And then, like I said, I'll put a link to them in the description so you can check them out, and you can choose whichever one you like. And you can also see that right here, it's not in full screen. So if you want to get to your full screen of Windows, you're gonna have to let's see, hold on. Get a second, because sometimes depending on how much memory you gave it, it'll be a little slow. So you can go like to view up in here. I think it's like right here, or this. Yeah, that setting right there. So it'll full size it to, I think, full screen it right there a little bit. Kind of does like the lion full screen effect right there. I'd say minimize that right there. Go to view. Okay, yeah, it'll switch to full screen. So it has that. So also they changed it. Actually, in this version, they actually changed it to do like the Mac full screen, exact Mac full screen thing. Because before it had a setting in previous version, it had like in version like the last version, it had like a setting at the bottom to put it in full screen, and then it had it up here where it said view. So like under, or like right in here where it says view, and you can hide this because when you first install your Windows, it'll have this, and it'll just stay there, and you'll be like, I want this to go away. Well, you're gonna have to show taskbar in Unity, all this full screen title bar. I put it to automatically like hide and show, and you can have it like more Unity with your Mac, so you can have like your let's see, Unity. Let's go to Unity, see what that does. Unity, it like runs on top of your Mac a lot more, so it'll look like it's exactly on your Mac. But I never really use this feature because it kind of lags a lot in this feature. So I kind of, so you can see all the Windows, everything that's open on Windows, you can see it. It's right on top of your Mac, right here. So you can make it look exactly like it's on your Mac completely, and you can say, so if you're running Sony Vegas, some people I've done it, I think a couple of times, but I never really used it. And so that's why some people think I actually have Sony Vegas on my Mac, but I actually don't. It's just under it's under VMware Fusion. So I'm gonna get out of this because I don't really like that. I just go to full screen on it, switch back to that, and give it a second because it's switching between layouts. So I really like it like this. So when I'm on Windows, I like to show Windows itself. The only thing that I did with it was disguised it to look exactly like to look pretty close to my Mac layout. And what I did with that is I went and I installed a Snow Transformation Pack. So I'll go to the logout. I'll go to logout screen, logout, not shut down, but logout. I'll go to log off. Okay, close that. And I'll show you that I installed the Snow Transformation Pack, so it acts like Snow Leopard. And there's a Lion one, but I installed that, but it didn't even change any of this. And it's supposed to do exactly the same thing here, except instead look more like Lion. Instead of saying version 10.6, it would say 10.7. But I think it's because 64-bit version of Windows, on 64-bit, it actually runs installs differently or something, because I tried it on a 32-bit version of Windows, and it changed exactly. It said 10.7 Lion right here. It pretty much similar to this, except like I said, it says 10.7. Then it has the lion background right here instead of the snow leopard. But snow leopard and lion, if you want to look at them in general, they actually don't really look any different from each other. Just other than there's Launchpad, and then there's Mission Control, and then there's FaceTime that comes with it, and stuff like that. But the layout in general is not really much different from each other. So I'll go back in here. And then what I have for like my dock on Windows, because when you install virtual your virtual windows on your VMware Fusion or Parallels, you're gonna get the exact Windows look. So if you want your Mac look, and I'm gonna show you how to show you the dock. This dock right here is the best dock to have. This dock right here is called Object Dock. This dock right here is a really sweet dock, and a lot of people, if you're looking on how to make your Windows into a Mac, a lot of people will show you how to get Rocket Dock, and that one's different. That dock, I really don't like that style because that dock is kind of stupid and it's annoying. And what I like about this dock over that one is for this reason. You see the start menu? When you first install this, it'll have the Windows icon, but because I went online and I searched for Apple icons and stuff, and I came across this, and I could change this if I want. What I downloaded is ones with different colors, so I'll show you. Let's go to edit this icon, and to do that in Object Dock, you can edit your icon. Then you go right here, change the icon, and it has to be in PNG format. And then it has to have no white background so you can see the icon. It has to be on a clear background, just shows the icon itself. And then the one that I downloaded is a pretty cool one. So if you have like a classic Apple wallpaper, you could change your start icon to, which is start icon does this, it opens up this. And if your taskbar was down here, it would open up underneath this, but since it's up here, that's why it opens up there. So you can look for the, but since I have these, I'll just instead of wasting your time, and I'll just save you the trouble, and I'll just put them in a zip file, upload them to my 4Share account, and you can get all the stuff that I have for all the icons that I'm using so far. And if there's any other icons you want to change, like if there's a program you want to install, but I don't have the icon that I didn't give you, then you're gonna have to look for that in Google. But I'll give you the ones that I have. Like I'll give you the QuickTime one, I'll give you the iTunes one, and then I'll give you links to. Well, you don't need a link for Rocket Dock, because if you're trying to install a snow transformation, and I'll put a link to that and the Lion one, because I have both of them. I just don't really like the Lion one when you're installing it on the 64-bit, because it doesn't show the boot screen. It doesn't show the Lion stuff that it is supposed to show. But other than that, you can install those and whatever if you're 32-bit, 64. But I'd say if you're capable of doing 64-bit applications and all of that on your Mac, then I say install 64-bit version of Windows, because if you're trying to use Sony Vegas, it'll run a lot better there and stuff. And so that's what I have. And then another thing that I have, which actually I don't know why it didn't come up, but actually another thing I have is fences. This is another thing, same company or the website that has this, the Object Dock right here. They do this thing called fences, and it organizes your application, so you can double click on it and it'll hide them. So you could do that, and I'll right click here, and if you right click, it'll say configure fences. So you can change the color. You can change it to black, red, whatever. But a lot of the wallpapers that I have, changing it to red, blue, and transparent, it looks too bright. So I leave it black and a little bit of transparency to it. So you can go to like appearance, and I'll play around with it. So say if I want to make it like blue, let's go to color intensity. Yeah, see, it I like to have it a little dark. You could change the color. Play around with that in fences. So I'll put a link to all the Star Dock stuff, the Object Docks. And then when you have it installed, it'll be under Star Dock folder. So it'll say Star Dock, and then whatever you have. So I have like fences, I have the object desktop. Well, actually, I had this thing called object bar, which is the taskbar, but I don't really like that. I rather have the, which is the finder bar, which I don't know why it's not. Sometimes, because, let's see, I'm going to double click on this, and then I'm going to click on finder bar. It should come up. Sometimes that'll happen. It's kind of like why I don't really like Windows too much, because stuff doesn't come up correctly. But there it is. There it came up now. Okay, it must did not want to open when I logged on. But sometimes that'll happen. But this is called Finder Bar, so I'll put a link to this, and then like Finder Bar kind of acts like your Mac a little bit. Where it says about, it should say somewhere around here, say about this Mac. So like right here, about this Mac. And since this is like a whenever 10.4 was out, so it'll say 10.4, but it kind of acts similar to like your Mac a little bit. Except this is like an old version, because the one that I came across, it was 1.5, I think, and I guess it's a really old version, but it works with Windows 7, so it acts like your Mac. It'll say file, edit, view, just like your Mac. Right here it'll say file, edit, view, and then all this right here, and it's the same thing. All this right here, except Windows style, because Windows doesn't have where it says the clock up there. Yeah, it doesn't have that on Windows. But on your object dock, this right here, it'll come with the little clock, and you can, and then it'll come with like a boring clock icon. So I changed it to like the iPhone style icon. So this is like the iPhone style clock icon. That's pretty neat. So that, and I'll put a link to all this. And then this right here, I disguised my Sony Vegas to be like Final Cut X. And that one, I disguised it to be that. Check, and I'll open it. I'm opening it up to show you. And then right here, that's why I like the fences, so I can hide all my icons on my desktop. I don't know if there's one for Mac. I wish there was one for Mac, but I try to keep my Mac desktop clean anyways. I don't really put folders or whatever on the desktop. I just keep it, I'd rather have my dock messy more than my desktop itself, because I like to just show the wallpaper by itself. This is pretty neat to have fences, and then this is the program itself right there. But you can get to the settings just by right-clicking. So you don't really need to have this on your desktop, as long as you just don't delete the program itself. And then I'll download, actually not download, but give you some icons, just some, and whatever I don't have for a program that you want to disguise or whatever. So if you're gonna have to find that in Google yourself. Like, say if you have like, what program that I might not have. Let's say if you have internet or whatever it is. Let's say you had like, I guess iTunes, and I didn't have iTunes, but you want to change the icon of iTunes, you're gonna have to look for that. But iTunes, I don't really have to change the icon of that, because the icon already is the same as the one for Mac. The only one that I had to change was QuickTime on this one, because QuickTime, it showed this one, this old icon, which the new one has this icon right here. So I kind of, it's not exactly the same still, but it's just a disguised one, and I like the way this one looked, so that's why I have this one. But this is pretty much the same as the actual one. And then this, I found this, it's a Google Chrome icon. You don't really have to really use internet on your Windows. If you're virtualizing Windows, you can just switch. You want to get on the internet, switch back to your internet on your Mac, which is Google Chrome, Safari, whatever you're using for your internet browser. I recommend, if you're internet browsing, Google Chrome is the fastest, best. And it took me a while to get into it, but when I did, it was really nice. It's the reason why it took me a while to get into it, because when it was first brand new, I didn't like it. Then because it kept updating itself a lot, the Google Chrome and Google company updates their products a lot. It became more stable, and it started to run a lot faster in the newer version. So I started to like it better than Firefox. I noticed after this started updating a lot more, Firefox started going down a lot. And like Firefox, it's just I didn't really like Firefox anymore. So this became better than Firefox. Sometimes programs will be like that. So that's why it's good to try more than one, see what you like, because sometimes one will turn out to be better than the other later on or whatever. And this one, so far it's been, I had this Google Chrome for a year now, and it's been running really nice. I've had it for a while. So I've had it switched yet. And Safari, that one's the one, that basic one that comes with the Mac. It's pretty nice. And you can have it for Windows as well. So if you're running a virtual version of Windows, you can install Safari for Windows. But I say use Google Chrome because it's the best. But depending on what, like if you're doing a website or whatever, just make sure that you make it capable with other, like if you're messing around with web designing and all that. I ain't gonna go into that a little bit, but that's that, and pretty much it. I'll put all the links to the docs, the taskbar with the finder bar. I'll put a link to that, so it can make it look like, and it changes itself, so because it looks a little transparent, it's changing itself based to the wallpaper. So that's why it looks a little red right here. So let me change the wallpaper. I'll go to personalize. I'll change it to like a black one. Okay. Like a black, and I'll put a link to some of the wallpapers I have. I didn't create any of these, but I'm going to be. I did create one, but in the process of updating to 10.7.2, the newest version of Lion, I had to reinstall everything. So I lost my wallpaper that I made, but I still have the Photoshop file, so I would have to kind of remake it a little bit, but not totally. So I'll be making some wallpapers, but these, you can get these, and I'll change to like what black one? Let's see. I'll change to, where is it? This other black one that oh no, it's right here. I'll go to this. It's right here. It's in this folder. And I give it a second because sometimes my external hard drive is like that. Oh, and also too, you can, if you never notice, on both Mac and Windows, you can have switch to different wallpapers. You want to change picture every whatever, you can do that on both Mac and Windows. It's just a thing that both Mac and Windows automatically, that's the same thing that they do on. Okay, and there it is right there. And then there's the wallpaper. Okay, and then you have Finder Bar. You're going to right click on it, and you go to Skin It. What Skin It does is, you might want to do it a few times. It'll change it. Well, it should. You might want to reload it maybe. Sometimes that'll happen depending on your Windows. It still might not show correctly. You might have to restart your computer or whatever, but it should have went totally dark gray like this. Since the background is dark, it should have went totally like that. I might have to restart it, but and then that's it on that. So I'll go to, let's go to virtual machine. Let's go to shutdown. Yeah, I'll shut down, and then show you some of the installation settings, just so you can get more familiar. Okay, force shutdown. Okay, and I'll put a link to all the, like I said, to Snow Transformation Pack, for in case if Lion doesn't come in exactly the way it should, because you have 64-bit or something. Because it comes with two folders, like a programs x64, and then it comes with just program files. So I think that's why it doesn't show up correctly, because there's two different sets of files for a 64-bit version of Windows. I think that's why that happens. So I showed you this, and then there's the setting. Okay, see settings for this. There's system settings and all this. So you're gonna install it. It'll tell you you want to use a disk. If you have the CD for Windows, you can do that. Or if you have a location, like if you have it on an external hard drive. I have the like the ISO file of it. So I have an ISO file of 64-bit and 32-bit version of Windows. I created an ISO file for that, so I don't have to use the CD every time. And I don't really like to use, if I really need to use a CD for a lot of my stuff, I try to put them on my external hard drive. And then stuff you're going to install, want to connect, automatically connect, my book, all that. You want to have that connected to it, all this stuff. Like, I say you really don't need your iSight connected, because that, you can run your ScreenFlow if you have like ScreenFlow or whatever screen recording application you're using. Probably going to be using ScreenFlow because it's the best recorder for Mac. You don't really have to use your iSight inside of Windows, because you can continue have this recorded as this is on. Okay, and then we'll go to show all. That's that. That's the general. The name of this, Windows 7, 26.2 gigabytes have been used. IP60, that's the basic. I don't really install that much on here on my virtual version of Windows, so I don't really install that much. Then I'll go to show all. Sharing, what folders you want to share with your Mac inside your Windows. So when you open up your virtual version of Windows, there's sharing, like there's a VMware shared folder. It'll be called like inside when you open this, it'll say VMware shared, and you could look at your files on your desktop on your Mac and stuff like that. And then there's default application. What do you want to be your default applications to open? Say if you open up a web link in Windows, it'll open up your Mac internet right here. And then you go to application menu, all this. If whatever applications you want to be on your applications menu. So if you're in your applications, it'll show up in here. If you want to drag you want to add a Windows program, it'll show up in here. But I think that's kind of stupid, because it's just gonna open up your Windows. So I don't really do that. I'll just leave this blank. I don't really use that. And then here, if you wanna, how much memory you want to set to your Windows, depending on your Mac. So I have like 4 gigabytes of memory on my Mac. So I would share half and half to my Windows and half to my Mac, which is 2 gigabytes. So I do that, so that my Mac side doesn't really lag and my Windows side runs really nice, especially on 64-bit. And then I do that. And then on the cores, like for that, you can have 2 or 1 on your cores, depending. I'm doing 2, and it runs really nice. It doesn't lag that much or whatever, so it's fine having that. Depending, just check your system settings by going to your Mac, about this Mac, and whatever you have on it. Say I go to about this Mac, and I go to information, see what's on my Mac right here. What I like about Lion is it gives you more detailed, clear information. Tells you this is a 15-inch mid version 2009. I actually bought this in November 2009. I guess there is no, I don't know if they have a late version of 2009, because I got this in November. So if there is a late version, I must grab the mid version model. But that one is a mid. And then display, what I like about this, it has 3D. I think like Parallels Desktop has something similar. I'm not sure, but basically they both do the same thing, except for the layout when you're in the settings area is a little different. But when you're in Windows, it'll just be Windows. It won't change it. Except I think on Parallels it has like a setting that will automatically make it look like your Mac. You don't have to download anything. So if you're trying to do it on VMware Fusion, which is this one, you have to download stuff for it, like I said, Snow Transformation, Lion, all that, and then whatever printers you want to connect to it. I don't. If you're trying to, if you're trying to print something, I say do it through your Mac because it's kind of. I say it's kind of stupid to do it through your Windows. Like, why would you use Microsoft Word for Windows on your Mac when there's a Mac version? Just use the Mac. That's why I say. Because some stuff are the same. Like Microsoft Windows is the same on a Mac. It's just Microsoft Windows. Except the layout is just a tad bit different, but not much. Now I would see why you would want to run Final Cut or Sony Vegas, whichever one, like Sony Vegas, because maybe you're used to Sony Vegas, because just Final Cut might be a little hard to use. But since they've been on Final Cut 10, they made it a lot easier for beginners. So I'll show you that in the next few tutorials. I'll show you some Final Cut tutorials. I just updated to this 10.1 because they just went into that like 3 weeks ago, I think. Sometime in last week of September, they updated to 10.1 because they were missing a lot of features and it was unstable, and I didn't like that. And so they finally updated it. They knew people were upset about Final Cut and it not being as good as Final Cut 7. I still would rather prefer Final Cut 7, but it's outdated and it's like you're not going to be able to use it anymore, especially after 10.7.3 when they go to that. Probably not even going to be able to use Final Cut 7 anymore. So that's why I just decided I'm just going to have to suck it up and try to deal with this. Hopefully it runs nice. And I tried it a little bit today, and it seems to be a lot more stable, except I'm just upset it's still missing some features that I liked. And then that's that. And then I showed you that. So let's see, let's go to, I guess that's it. You just mess around with the settings. I showed you all of the settings to get you started, and that's VMware Fusion, and that's it. Please comment, rate, subscribe. Check out my website, pixelpocketmedia.com. Check out my other two channels. My second one, I call it a random video channel, where I do comedy. Sometimes I'll do parody videos, which that's kind of related to comedy a little bit. Then I do like movie reviews. Mostly I like to do more geared towards effect type videos or parodies or stuff like that. I like to do more of that on my channel because I'm into doing effects. I'm into doing all that stuff, and I like to utilize what I've been teaching you. I like to do it on that channel. And then whatever I do that's cool there and that's kind of hard to do, I'll do a tutorial on that on this channel. That's why I do that. And then I have a third channel for just video gameplay videos, stuff like that. And that's it. See you later. And that one's called Fantastic Art. That's the gameplay channel. And that's it. See you later, and that's it.